Hello students, welcome back to our video. So in the last video we started with the discussion of the joint stock company. In that we discussed about the definition and characteristics of joint stock company. Now let's start with the advantages of joint stock company. So in that the first advantage is huge capital fund. A company divides its capital into small fraction. Attraction to purchase more number of share always remains because voting right is per share. As a result, company can raise a large capital. So, company gathers capital through share. People outside of the company purchase the number of shares, and according to that they have a vote. So everyone has a right to vote per share. Therefore, due to this, the company can gather a large capital. So, huge capital fund is the first advantage of the joint stock company. Second one is easy transfer of shares. The member of the company can sell shares and get money whenever he desires and can purchase shares as required. Due to easy purchase and sale of shares in a recognized stock exchange. Although restriction is also laid down on the transfer of share of a private company. So any member of the company can sell shares and can purchase shares whenever he desires, and can also easily sell the share in a stock market. But there are some restrictions for the transfer of shares of a private company. Then third one is limited liability of the members. That means the liability of the members is limited up to the face value of the share in company limited by share. In circumstances of liquidation or winding up of a company, they have not to pay more money than the face value of the share. So the liability of the members is limited up to the face value of the share, means the price of the share. And if there is liquidation, or if there is case for winding up of the company, or we can say closing of the company, the members do not have to pay more money than the face value of the share. So the liability of the members of a company is limited up to the face value of the share. Then fourth one is separate identity and perpetual life. Company has perpetual life due to separate identity and entity from its members by law. The existence of company is not affected even in the circumstances of death, insolvency, insanity of members, or in the case of transfer of shares by members. So the company and the members both are different. Any death, insolvency, or insanity of any members does not affect the company. So company has a separate identity and perpetual life. This is the advantage for the company. Then fifth one is advantages of large scale. Large scale purchase and sale and production are possible. Large scale production are possible for the business company. The benefits of large scale production is obtained at low cost due to large capital fund, modern machineries, expert services, research, etc. Hence, company is considered as an engine of economic growth. So, large scale production for a company is possible due to low cost and due to the modern machineries, expert services, and the research. So company is considered as an engine of the economic growth. Without company, economic growth is not possible, because company can have a advantage of the large scale production and the large scale fund. Then sixth advantage is efficient management. Management of company becomes professional and efficient due to the expert services and the efficient directors. Management of the company becomes very professional because there are directors who have different types of knowledge, high level of knowledge and skills, and expert services. That's why the management of company becomes very professional and efficient. Then seventh one is democratic management. The company is managed democratically by elected representatives of members called directors. Decisions are taken by the majority in the general meetings of the members. So, the company is managed democratically by the elected representatives of modern called board of directors or directors, and decisions are also taken by the majority in the general meetings of the members. Then the last one is benefits to society and nation. Public invest their savings in the share, debentures and public deposits of the company. Saving is encouraged. They receive dividend and interest as income on investment. Advantages of large-scale production are also available to the society. Employment opportunities increases, and some companies also spend a part of profit for the benefit of society like art, garden, school, colleges, playground, etc. Therefore, provides many facilities voluntarily to the employees also. Companies pays crores of rupees to the government by way of taxes, and this amount is also used for the development of the country. So, company plays a huge role in the development of the society due to its large-scale production and due to the large scale of fund. So, they provide maximum benefit to the society and nation. Then, so these were the following advantages of the joint stock company. Now let's look at the limitations of joint stock company. So in that, the first one is lengthy and expensive incorporation procedure. So the formation of procedure of company is very lengthy, complicated and expensive in comparison to the sole proprietorship and partnership. Company has to submit the documents like memorandum, article before the register of the companies to obtain the certification of incorporation. For this, expert services are obtained. In addition to the registration fees, to the registrar, experts are to be paid high fees for their services. So, for the incorporation of the company or for starting any company, the procedure is very lengthy and very expensive. So, this is the first limitation, one limitation of the joint stock company, because there is a lengthy and expensive procedure incurred for the incorporation of the company. Then second one is legal restrictions. A company comes into existence only by law. Company has to observe legal provisions during its lifetime. The statements, reports, accounts are to be submitted to the registrar of companies regularly at a certain time. Some provisions of SEBI, that is Securities and Exchange Board of India, are also to be fulfilled. So there are many legal restrictions involved for the company's existence, and because company only comes into the existence by law, so company have to pay their statements, reports, accounts to the registrar of companies regularly at a certain time, and the SEBI, that is Securities and Exchange Board of India, also regulates the company. They also have restrictions on the company. So this is also one limitation of company. Then third is increase in administrative expenses, that is administrative expense increases due to the high fees is paid to the experts, attractive salary of the specialized officers, expenses on research. On this, very high expenses are involved. So this increases the administrative expenses of the company. Then fourth one is autocratic management. That means though many rights are entrusted to the members by law, but they enjoy nominal power. Due to voting right per share, some person gets control through groupism and impose their desires. They also use companies' money, assets, and secret information for their personal interest and selfishness. So there are also autocratic management. Though many rights are given to the members, but still some people use their secret information, companies' money, assets for their personal interest and the selfishness. Then fifth one is difficulty in maintaining secrecy. Company has to get audited compulsorily its final accounts and to furnish to the members and registrar of companies other certain informations like redemption of debentures, bonus shares also to be published as per the law. Thus, it is very difficult to maintain the secrecy because the company has to show their accounts, statements regularly to the registrar of companies, so that it becomes very difficult for the company to maintain the secrecy. Then sixth one is delay in policy decisions. The consent of members is essential, means the permission of members is very important in making policy decisions. For this, meeting of the members is to be called. Notice of the meeting is to be furnished to the members in advance before the certain days. Resolution is to be passed in meeting, and for all this time is wasted and decisions are delayed, because without the consent or permission of each and every member of the company, the decisions cannot be taken, because for that the company has to call the meeting first, then give a notice of meeting before certain days. So with this, there a lot of time is wasted, and therefore decision making is always delayed. Then seventh one is less flexibility. Lesser element of flexibility is there in company form as compared to the sole proprietorship and partnership. A resolution is to be passed in general meeting to make the important changes, and approval of central government and court is also required in some circumstances. So there are less flexibility because company and the members cannot make changes without the permission of the central government and the court. Then eighth one is encouragement of speculation. That means artificial changes in the stock market encourage speculation as the directors are acquainted with the secret information of the company. The speculation